Do you use currency strength and weakness tools in your trading? This is what mine's showing for us this week. This week, we can see some real obvious changes to the currency strength meter. So this one is my weekly change. This is where I monitor what happens on a week-to-week basis. I like to feature what's happened from last week, going into, last week's, also the prior week, going into this week's trading. I then like to monitor the change to see if a currency is getting stronger on a weekly basis or is it getting weaker on a weekly basis. Behind that, I've got the currency strength meter. The currency strength meter allows me to see what currencies are potentially in those reversal zones as well. So as we can see here from our weekly change at this current moment in time, price is in a really interesting place. So if I just grab, I'm just going to grab a tool here, a pen tool. I'm going to show you what's going on here. So obviously we can see that euro is the one that's one to watch this week because we've gone from that -2 area into +3. That is a change of +5. So that makes me want to look for potential euro long opportunities. So whenever I look at the currency strength meter, I want to look at two different things. I want to look at what basically is long and what basically is short, and then I want to pair those currencies together. So I can see here that euro +3, that's a good thing, and it's moving to the upside. So potentially I want to be looking at those euro longs going into this week. What do I want to see from the short side? What currencies are weaker at the moment? Well, I can see that the Canadian dollar has gotten weaker from last week. We've got the +3s down to 0. So there's a potential that CAD is also getting weaker. What can I divulge from everything else? Well, I can see that there's a couple of -3s in there. We've got Aussie being in there for one. The New Zealand dollar was a currency that was getting weaker as well. Basically, the yellow highlights when something in the prior week was in a reversal. Now, this was actually +6 and it went down to 0 and then went to -1. So basically, the New Zealand dollar has been a currency that's been getting weaker as well. So at the moment, it's like CAD, Kiwi, potentially even a little bit of the Australian dollar weakness to come. So immediately, I've got 3 currency pairs that I could place together here. I have potential for Euro Oz to move to the upside. I've got potential for Euro Kiwi to also move to the upside, and I've got Euro CAD, something to potentially move to the upside. So basically what this has done, this currency strength meter analysis has allowed me to narrow down all those currency pairs that are available to us to 3 currency pairs. So I'm going to be focusing on Euro Oz, Euro Kiwi and Euro CAD. So let's go dive into those charts right now. Kicking it off with Euro CAD then, I'm on the weekly time frame. We can see that price has recently broken through a key level of resistance. So we've actually been consolidating down here by the looks of things between sort of the 1.43 handle and the 1.45 handle. Their prices just last week breached and closed above that level. Today we saw price come back down to 145, retested that 145 handle, and we've since then seen price kind of push back to the upside here. So relatively speaking, this is the kind of price action we want to see. If we're expecting to have that sort of Euro CAD play where we've got the potential for Euro CAD to move to the upside, we exactly want to see this. We want to see very strong bullish price action. We want to see it trading through key areas of resistance. So the next step for me is I've seen that the weekly is in a position where we could see a continuation to the upside. The next step is to highlight those key support and resistance levels. So you can see I've already highlighted the fact that we've traded through 145. So where are the key resistance points? Well, I can see on the weekly chart up here is obviously a level where sellers got involved in the past. There's lots of wicks to the upside, for instance, at this point, which has then seen selling pressure come in. So if I want to be long, that is definitely an area I want to be looking to target around about this 147.36 handle. So that gives us good opportunity to look for at least 200 or something pips to potentially to the upside. If price then breaches through that, we've got the 1.4842, which were these highs in here. Again, if we breach that, we've got a around about the 149.20 handle, which were these highs. So lots of resistance points to actually take a look at, and when we look at this we say, well, where is the potential for those buyers to target? And those are the levels that buyers could be looking to try and target in the next coming weeks, as long as euro remains strong and CAD remains a weak currency. So going on to some lower time frames then, what do we like to look for? When I want to go to a 4-hour time frame, I like to see, is the trend the same? What I mean by that is, when the market moves within these type of phases, I like to identify, is something bullish or bearish. Now, if I'm expecting the weekly chart to be bullish and we get consecutive weekly candlesticks, that's a poor candlestick drawing, what I'd expect within that sort of phase is a lower time frame trend within that. And that's exactly what we're kind of getting here from EuroCAD. We had a nice little push up there. Price then remained above this higher low. We then saw price return back into that, and we're getting higher highs and potentially higher lows now forming at the moment. So that's a good sign. I like to see that. I want to see price continue to do that. So this gives me an idea to start looking for different types of setups. So first of all, I like to look at volume profile. Now, volume profile, we can grab a fixed range tool. I like to go from sort of where the swing low has been to the swing high, and I can see that there's lots of volume coming in around about 144.24. My only problem with this is the fact that when I look left, I know that there's been a consolidation through here. So that level there might not actually be the most traded level. So I'm actually going to go all the way back to the low that formed on the 28th of September. So I can see all this volume through there, and the fact that actually prices recently broken through that volume, retested the value area high of this area within here, and it's continued to push to the upside. So that makes me think one or two things. We're either going to see price try and come back towards value, reject value again and continue higher. So that's kind of our first opportunity. Second opportunity is that price has already retested this value, deems that it's not a fair value, and price is going to continue higher. That leads me to my sort of second strategy, and that is where I start to look for just trend continuation moves. So if I actually go down to the hourly chart, you can see that I've got a nice 50 moving average on the chart here. Now, there is sort of an element to trading where I like to look at the average 50 and look to see how price reacts within that kind of area. I like to look for, if price is above the 50 moving average, then we should be looking for bullish opportunities, especially in trending environments. If we're below the 50 moving average, then I want to be looking for shorts in trending environments. And that's why it's important to use currency strength and weakness when looking at something like this. So we're above the 50. We can see actually the last two times we come into the 50, price has had a really good positive reaction there. So that's going to be something I'm going to be looking for. Around about the 145 handle again is the 50 moving average. I want to be looking to see how price reacts to that once more, because if we can sustain above that 50 moving average, let's say we head towards 146, we come back towards the 145.50, we reject the 50 moving average at that point if price has caught up with the 50 moving average, or vice versa, then that shows me that buyers are still willing to trade above these levels. So then I would be looking for that opportunity to see price continue to push higher at that point. You can see here as well, nice consolidation through there. Price has recently come through, potential for a reaction at that point for continuations. But 145.50 looks pretty good for me on EuroCAD at this current moment as I'm speaking to you right now. Like I said, really like the idea of potentially seeing this price come all the way back up towards the 147 handle, just to kind of give that handle a little bit more of a sort of analysis as well. If I just put a volume profile through this level as well, it's not too far away from the point of control of this consolidation, which the market tends to move from volume to volume levels, okay? So that's another point where we could see price come in and retest that. But like I said, currency strength and weakness, really helpful tool when you're looking to narrow down and focus in on particular markets. EuroCAD could be one of those. You can also check out EuroKiwi and EuroAus, but I won't take up too much of your time in this video. Please hit that subscribe button if you like this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.